Jeff, I know you're a musician as well, and in The Big Lebowski, Jimmy Dale Gilmore's on the bowling team. Now, did you guys have some jam sessions off camera?
We sure did. I'm sitting here with one of my oldest friends. You can do a whip pan here to John Goodwin over here. Johnny is my oldest friend. We've been making music and doing art together all these years.
Yeah.
And he's got three tunes in the Amateurs.
Okay.
Did you play with Gilmore? Did you come and visit us when we were there? I can't remember. But we picked with Jimmy a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Goodman played some harp. We got him involved a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's always great to find guys on the show that do music, and it's a wonderful way to communicate.
Jeff, when you read a script, and again, I'm thinking of the Big Lebowski. When we get to scenes like when Donnie's ashes are going to be thrown off the cliff, and they're going to blow back in your face, and that sort of thing. Do you laugh the first time you read it, or by that time are you already in character? Because you're going to deadpan that on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in character, or when you're standing in your living room reading that for the first time, do you laugh out loud like an audience member?
It's hard to say. It depends on the mood. I mean, I think when I'm reading it, it's hard to say that.
Mm-hmm.
No one way or the other. But when you laugh out loud in the script, that's always a good good sign.
Now, what about The Last Picture Show? Now that, of course, written by Larry McMurtry, Archer City, very close to here, by the way. Have you ever made it into Archer City up in Oklahoma?
Well, one of the cool things about the picture show was 20 years after the Last Picture Show, we made the sequel, Texasville, and the whole cast got reassembled.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Johnson, he couldn't be with us, unfortunately, because his character passed away, and in truth passed away. But Cloris and Sybil and Tim and all of us got together and did that one. Now there's a third one that Larry's got in this series called Dwayne's Depressed, and hopefully that'll be made into a movie too.
Did being second generation Hollywood, of course, your dad, actor Lloyd Bridges, did that help you be a part of something that classic, so big, so classic, so big, so soon in your career, and yet not get carried away with it like The Last Picture Show?
Well, I would say I'm really a product of nepotism. My dad. One of the hardest things about being an actor is getting your break. Getting your foot in the door. And my dad, unlike a lot of Hollywood actors, and probably actors in general, he loved showbiz so much, all kind of aspects of it. And he said it was worth all the humiliation and disappointment if it works for you. So he tried to turn us all onto it, and he taught me all of the basics, and but I also observed on how he navigated those waters of fame and all of that, and I kind of took my lead from him. And he was, very very open. Didn't push any of the fans away or anything like that, and wasn't too much into the Hollywood scene, whatever that means to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of saw how he did it. It was no big deal for me. It was kind of like your dad's making shoes, you go and you make some shoes, and it was that kind of deal.
Your brother, of course, Beau Bridges. When you guys did Fabulous Baker Boys, I know at that point you're both very accomplished actors. You're professionals. But when both of you look at the script, did it boil down to sibling rivalry? Did he say to you, "How come you get to have the romance with Michelle Pfeiffer"?
No,
because I would have.
Yeah,
he's a better brother than me.
He probably teased me. On some of it, But that script was such a wonderful one to read. You just don't read them that often. Where it seems so fresh, such a view into a world that not too many people knew. And this young guy, Steve Kloves, I think he wrote that when he was 24, man, or even younger. He directed it. He was still in his early, mid-20s or something.
Yeah,
but that's a real high point for me, that movie.
Yeah, really. I mean, you may have gotten the romance, but he got my favorite line out of the movie, which was "Feelings has always been a consistent crowd pleaser," and he said that with commitment. He believed it.
He nailed that part, man. We had such a good time on that. I got to do music, got to be with my brother, got to be with Michelle. we would pinch ourselves constantly, say, "Can you believe what we're doing? This is so much fun." We had a great time.
Jeff Bridges is in studio with us on the Wild Ass Circus on Live 105.3. His new film, The Amateurs. We've been raving about it. It's a fun film. It's a clever film, and definitely worth seeing. Before I let you go, I want to ask you about your perception of media, and particularly new media. I saw you do Henry Rollins' show on the Independent Film Channel, and I really like his show a lot. He himself has been a guest on our show many times, but I like the fact that he sort of looks to, I always get the feeling, he wants to turn people on to projects, not necessarily trumpet the same one that, when somebody's on the media junket and they're doing the Today Show and all that, that they're getting exposed to. So from your side of it, and I've heard you talk about movie critics, things like that before, from your side of it, is there much of that out there, that kind of media where somebody is really looking to explore something and launch something? Or when you find that happening, is that kind of a exceptional experience?
I'm not sure if I entirely get your question.
Okay.
Let me just shoot around. Let me kind of talk around
Okay.
and maybe
Yeah.
you can kind of guide me. What pops up in my mind is the internet. What's happening with that? It's just going crazy, with YouTube and guys like my, I put an album out a couple of years ago, tried to put it on radio, and that's a joke, man. I mean, there's all it's like a wall. So I decided, well, I'll just put it out on the internet. So I created a little website, and then I noticed, oh, this is kind of cool, man. This is like my own TV station, my own radio station.
Yes.
And you start to put out, and we're just at the beginning of that, and we're gonna see, more of that content that's going to be made specifically for the internet, and ways that you can see, alternative. You probably know a lot more about this than I do, but there must be guys like Henry that have shows for people who want to know about something that isn't quite so mainstream.
Exactly.
And you find out all about it.
It's
man.
the great equalizer. I think what I mean to say is, most there's a lot of talk shows, there's a lot of bookings out there where when they book someone, basically the question they'll ask is, now everybody else is doing this, right? I mean, everybody else is going to have this. Before we commit to it, we want to make sure everybody else is doing this. And then I think there are some people who actually relish the fact that, well, wait a second, this is a smaller project, right? There's going to be some uniqueness to our conversation.
Yeah. And there's places for both of them,
Yeah.
What I kind of find a little disheartening is that now there's a giant gulf between, literally movies that are made for $200 million, man.
Yeah.
Come on, I mean that's just God.
Yeah.
And then you got the $100,000, $200,000 movie, and the middle now is harder to find a project that's somewhere the budget is like 15 to 20, that's kind of like, oh, death. Or can it be more? Can we have more or less? You know? And so that middle zone is kind of, losing some. But you've got some the low end guys. They're really, right now people are looking, producers and financiers are looking at YouTube, looking to see who the hot director is. Isn't that right when you say, dude? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff. That's where they're looking. That's where it all is.
Well, thanks so much for the time, Jeff, coming in studio. The new
pleasure.
film is The Amateurs, and that was a lot of fun, man. That's I like when I walk out of a movie theater and think I'm a little better off than I was an hour and a half ago. So definitely the case with this new film.
All right. Thanks. It was fun hanging, man.
Go check it out. Jeff Bridges, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Great. Thank you.